What's up, stars? It's your girl Ivy Star coming to you with this edition of Retrograde Astrology. How y'all doing? The first one of the new 2023 calendar year. How y'all doing? Not feeling that much like a New Year's, is it? I know. We're gonna get into it though. So today is the last day of the full moon energy. I hope that you took advantage of that, cleared out your space, released, let things go, all those things that we do under the full moon, gave gratitude and all that hoopla. I didn't make a video in time for the full moon. I kind of, once the energy has kind of passed, because it's like 3 days before, 3 days after, or something like that, according to, you know, the lunar people, that you can use energy from the full moon or new moon. But after so much time has passed, it's kind of pointless, because if you see the video too late, then, you know, you've already moved on to your next phase of, you know, lunar work. So I did want to make a video though, because I know that there's this feeling of, you know, this is not really feeling like New Year. This is not really feeling like New Year, new me. It really feels like I just got a bunch of other stuff backed up. I really just feeling the pressure of things that I should be doing or should have done already. Projects that I may have not finished in 22, 21, 20, 19, whatever. You know, just feeling the flow backed up a little bit. And it's not abnormal for you to feel like this, because, you know, we did go through a parade of retrogrades. We are in an eclipse season. We've ended the eclipse season for 2022. They will pick back up. So we have all this different energy that's like forcing us to slow up, forcing us to kind of slow down and take a look at what we're doing, take a look at where we're going, take a look at how we're getting there. So if you feel like you backed up, don't beat yourself up, you know, just one project, one task, one thing at a time, and make sure that you pay attention to what's really calling you, what's really calling for your attention, things that really need to be handled. Make sure that you're listening to your intuition so you can know exactly what you need to be doing and when you need to be doing it, because sometimes when we don't listen to our intuition, we listen to the voice of other people who tell us that we should be doing this right now. Or we listen to the past, our past self, our shadow self, telling us what we should be doing right now. Just listen to your intuition. Intuition is always going to keep you on track, and it's going to keep you it's going to keep you in the flow. This is going to keep you in the flow so you can, you know, chart your path that was predestined for you to walk down, okay? Not just the path that you were predestined to walk down, but just live the life that you want to live, which is going to align with things that were already downloaded in you and into you. And we're going to talk about downloads as well, because if you haven't, what do I say on every video? You should be keeping a journal. You should be keeping track of your emotions. You should be keeping track of your patterns. You should be keeping track of your habits. You know what I mean? Keeping tracks of things that make you feel some type of way. In a good way or a bad way. Keeping track of the lessons that you learn from people so you don't repeat the same karmic mistakes and keep having to repeat the same karmic cycles, because you're not learning your lesson, because that's what people are, their lessons. So if you're at a point in your life where there's not a lot of people around, that might mean that you're just learning your lesson. So, you know, that's a good thing. So, just pay attention to your surroundings at this time, the environment. Try not to get too down. I know that when we're on a spiritual journey and we have to detach ourselves away from things that we were once attached to, and the people that are attached to that thing tends to fall off with it, it's rough. It gets lonely. It's very tiresome. Like, so it will say, you know, maybe you disconnected from your religious group and now you feel lonely and out of sorts. Maybe your party group, your peer group, your friends that you had in college, your friends that you used to kick it with, old co-workers. Just anytime that we have to break off of a certain peer group that has become a part of our routine, a part of our life, a part of our comfort system, a part of our support system. Because, you know, even though it may not always be like good support, like, hey girl, well, just come have a drink with me. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But if the problem is the drinking, then, you know, come have a drink with me might not be the advice that I need right now. But people who are not in that space where you're trying to get to like a level of healing, or, you know, just people just having you come and be in places that you're not you don't want to be in anymore. Like, why are you inviting me here? You know, this is not somewhere that I want to be. This is not some place I'm trying to hang out. I just wanted to be around someone I thought cared about me. But, you know, you are a part of what's leading me into my own self-destruction as well. So when we have to detach away from those things, we tend to, you know, it can get a little bit lonely, but that's okay. You get past it. You get past it because you tend to understand that you prefer the boringness, the discontent that kind of comes with being lonely than being around people who don't genuinely care about you or care about your well-being or want to see you doing well. Because some people don't know how to overcome the low vibrations of jealousy. Like, you expect people to be able to not be jealous of you because you're not jealous of them and you have a genuine love for people. It's not going to work like that. You're vibrating on a higher frequency. If you've mastered envy and jealousy and shame, you know, with each one of those lower vibrational emotions and things that we emit out into the universe, there's different levels. So sometimes you know where you want to see yourself and you may not be there, but because you surpass other things, there are people who are, I don't want to say up under, like not up under your foot or your rule, but just on a lower vibration, lower frequency, who don't want to see you go higher than them because they don't understand how you got past what you were going through. And they're, instead of, you know, being adults or communicating properly, you know, they translate it into hate because that's all that they were taught. They don't know how to ask questions like, well, I'm having a hard time getting over this, so how did you get over it? A lot of times people don't know how to ask a question. First of all, because they feel shame, which is a lower vibration, for even going through that. I mean, I was just having a conversation earlier about how narcissists and empath relationships, one of the biggest leverages is the shame, because usually empaths are good people, you know, have sense and have, you know, some type of purpose and have talents and things like that. And, you know, the narcissist kind of comes and drains them of those things. And the empath begins to feel so much shame that they're allowing this to happen, that they tend to isolate themselves and not want to be around the people who truly love them and support them. Isolation is surely a tactic of shame. So if you're feeling any type of shame, you know, don't isolate yourself. You know, let that stuff out. Find someone that you can talk to or vent to. So mainly I got on here to talk about the retrograde, Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde. And I also wanted to touch a little bit on Saturn's movement, because Saturn is a slow moving planet. It's a generational planet, and it usually takes 30 years to reach someone's sign again. So Saturn has now returned to Aquarius. It returned to Aquarius in 2020. 2020-ish. Yeah, 2020, Saturn. You know, the Grand Conjunction. Okay, the Grand Conjunction, if y'all recall. I didn't write down the exact date. I thought I might have, but I didn't. But, you know, the Grand Conjunction, Saturn returns to Aquarius. Saturn comes back to Aquarius during that time. So, you know, skip all that. So remember, Aquarius is, you know, the ruler of the house of friends and connections and, you know, personal relationships, technology, things that are unusual. Saturn in Aquarius is actually a powerful placement. It'll be leaving and going to Pisces, which is what I want to talk about. So it'll be leaving Aquarius and going to Pisces in March. So we still got some of this energy that we have to deal with. So I want to let you know what's going on. Some things that we can tie up, some loose ends that we can tie up. We're going to talk about that movement. And then we're going to do a little exercise to kind of help us refocus, because all of this stuff that we got going on, I know the new year does not feel very new. So let's go ahead and get to it, and we'll go ahead and do a refocus exercise. We're not going to do no new year, new me stuff. We're not going to make any resolutions, because now it's not the time for that. We kicked it off with a retrograde. Why would you make a resolution during a retrograde? No, we don't want to do that. So let's talk about Saturn going to be moving into Pisces. So it's going to be moving into Pisces March 7th. So that means we still got some of the Saturn Aquarius energy that we need to deal with, which is actually a very, very powerful placement. Now, when you think about Saturn, you can either think about Saturn like Mr. Miyagi, wise mentor, master teacher, or sometimes Saturn can be the fucking Trunchbull from Matilda. Okay, this is what Saturn does. This is the energy that Saturn brings. Okay, so we can either get the Mr. Miyagi treatment, or you can get body slammed by the Trunchbull when you don't want to listen. Okay, so when it is in Aquarius, it rules over the friends. So guess what? We had to deal with some harsh realities when it came to our friends. I know I did. Woo, I know I did. I went through so many peer tests, it feel like, for 2023. And I am 35 years old. I thought we was done with that. Like, I thought everybody had their place or who they were, whether we were close or whether we have grown apart, whatever it was. I felt like everybody where they was at. But Saturn definitely came and showed me a few things. So, the reason why Saturn in Aquarius is such a powerful placement is because Saturn used to actually rule over Aquarius before the astrologers and the astronomers technology got better and they realized that Uranus was up there as well in influencing the Aquarius constellation. And that's when Uranus became Aquarius's zodiac ruler because and it made sense. It made sense because the way that it turns, it's the one planet that is like just doing its own thing. It's turning sideways or whatever it is. And just the climate of it is all unpredictable. It's very unpredictable. And it's the same way with Aquarius. It can be very unpredictable, can very much shift lanes, shift gears very fast. They say that Aquariuses aren't emotional, but we just don't know what move we're going to make next. So we hate to get our emotions involved just to find out that I got all out of source for nothing because that's not what I want to do anyway. I didn't even really care as much as I thought I did. But, that's neither here or there. So it's a very powerful placement. So Saturn always causes us to take responsibility. When Saturn shows up, you have to take responsibility for whatever's going on. It's about learning and relearning, and it's about tests. Now, we need to understand that the tests don't come from God. Tests don't come from Allah. Tests don't come from the universe. Tests don't even come from the devil, okay? Tests just come from other people. People are using you to test their strength, to test their audacity, to test their will, to test their power. That's what competition is. That's why people are constantly in competition with one another. It's all tests. It's all a part of tests. The tests come from other people. People are the lesson. Okay? Not just what happened to you, but the person that did it to you is also the lesson, because are you going to allow this karmic energy to repeat in your life? Are you going to let these type of people be around you again? If you know that the things that they partake of and the things that they do is not something that feels good to you, that's not something that feels good to your soul. So what are you going to do? I don't know why this is bothering me. You don't say nothing but Faith Move Mountains. It's bothering me. Now that's better. Okay, there we go. I fell off. Okay, so anyway. So we were talking about Saturn in Aquarius and this placement. So this placement kind of forced us to find a healthy balance between our relationships and our work and our life, or suffer. Or suffer. Pretty much is the lesson that Saturn always comes to teach us. Like, either you shape up or you suffer, or you're going to be under this pressure, or you're going to constantly be running behind on your deadlines, your datelines, and all these goals that you have for yourself. You're going to constantly be running behind if you don't shape it up. So, and Saturn also comes to make us deal with some harsh realities, some things that we might not be ready to deal with or face. It kind of is the grow up planet. So that's why Saturn return that comes every 29, 30 years in your life. That's why it feels the way it feels. So think about it. Think about the changes. I mean, if you haven't reached 30 yet, I'm not trying to say this to scare you. It's more of an enlightenment moment. This is a pre-warning. Like, just to go ahead and start putting your ducks in the line right now. So when you do have that moment when Saturn does return and it comes to show you that This ain't what you thought it was. You thought that you was going to be this person. Haha, I've got a trick for you. This is the reason that you have been moving the way that you have been moving, is because you have been influenced by other people's and their perception of you. So now Saturn is going to return to your sign between the time that you turn 29 and 30 years old and show you that it's time for you to start living through your own perspective. Everything that you thought was wrong, all of this shit is fake. All of this shit is a lie, and you need to go ahead and grow up, deal with it, and figure out what you're going to do with your life. That's where Saturn return comes. The first time. And then it comes again. Think about it. Every 29 to 30 years. So then it's going to come again when you're about 59, 60 years old. And then what starts happening? People say people start going through midlife crisis. Well, that's really a midlife crisis if you plan to live 125 years. Really, your midlife crisis probably comes before that, depending on how you living and how long you plan on living. But, 59, 60, that is when you really start transitioning into, being taken care of by your children. And that's when they start stepping up to the plate, doing more for you. You start retiring. You start thinking about what you want to do with that part of your life where you don't have to work and take care of your family anymore, where you become the person that's supposed to be taken care of if you did right in the first part of your life. If you did right in the first part of your life, even if you don't have a family of your own, someone is going to be willing to take care of you because, you just get what you put out. You get what you put out. So, Saturn in Aquarius. Aquarius is also the sign of humanitarianism, so we learn a lot of lessons about people. Just a lot of revelation of information about how things have operated, how people in power have pretty much kept their foots on the necks of people who are not in power, and how all this different information is being revealed. Aquarius is also the sign of like the internet and connectivity. Mercury is definitely the sign of communication and travel and how those things get out, the news. But Aquarius is definitely the sign of the internet, AI, tapping into different technology and things like that. And you just see this influx of things that we are learning about technology. AIs and stuff becoming sentient and having feelings and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother YouTube channel. We'll say that for the conspiracy people. Let's get back to Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn, I just wanted to let you know what this energy is. So if you feel like all of your friends are gone and you have learned some really tough lessons for 2022 about people and how they moving in your life, then just make sure that you learn going into this next phase where Saturn is going to be moving into Pisces, and there's going to be more of a sacrificial energy because there's going to be more of a need for service, more of a need for sacrifice, and more of a need for connection. So Saturn moving through Aquarius for these few years wanted to help get you grounded and wanted to show you people so you know what you're up against, because when we get ready to go into this next phase, especially if you are a healer, if you're a leader, if you've been called to any type of service work or community work, you're going to want to understand that you need to protect your energy. So Saturn in Aquarius came to show you and reveal to you different energies and how they really respond to you and how they really feel about you, and show you what you need to watch for. You can be all for women and women in power, and women really don't like you. I'm not saying that's the case with me, but I'm just saying it just happens. The thing that you thought that you had a heart for, Saturn in Aquarius during this time came to show you like you ain't really into this as much as you thought you were. This is your perception. That time of isolation that we spent during lockdown, during the pandemic, while Saturn was in Aquarius, you learned a few things about who you are, hobbies you like. You got a chance to maybe pursue some businesses or some ideas and find out that that's not really for you. That's all a part of a learning process. Saturn, the teacher. So like I said, it can either be Mr. Miyagi, where this challenging but enlightening and caring and wise moment, or it could be the trunch bowl where you just get absolutely body slammed and and like the teacher who was abused for so long by the trunch bowl in the movie Matilda, if you've never seen it, she had to eventually just go ahead and stand up for herself, find her inner power, you know, find her inner child, which was Matilda showing up, being her inner child, and her finding the power to stand up to the trust boat and, you know, get her on up out of there. Take her stuff back, okay? So these are just references to what I mean by what Saturn can do in your life and how you want it to show up. But either way, it's going to show you how to stand up for yourself. It's going to make you be grown. It's going to make you stand on some things. So we're moving into Pisces. So just remember the biblical lesson of Jesus, but also remember the biblical lesson of Judas when you go into this next season in March, where we're going into Saturn and Pisces. I'm trying to prepare you. I know it's not March. I know it's only January, but time is flying and we're in the middle of some retrograde, which means time is probably going to fly even more. Because those retrogrades are coming to an end, and then Mars is going to go direct, and you know, I'm just trying to get y'all into this energy, because if you haven't did what you have needed to do with that Saturn Aquarius energy, which means find your tribe, get people out of your life that really don't care about you, quit wondering about your relationship with their person. Either they're there or they're not. Either they're there or they're not. Either they're there or they're not. And if they're not there, that means they are somewhere else. And that does not necessarily mean that they want to be with you, but they can't be with you right now if they're somewhere else mentally, if they're somewhere else, if they want to be somewhere else physically. If something is not working for them in the space that they're in, it's time to grow up and have a conversation about where they want to be, where you want to be, okay? We can't fit people into our, one thing that we had to learn about Saturn and Aquarius, we can't fit people into these cookie cutter versions of what we think friends are supposed to look like. The main thing was friends. The main thing wasn't really relationships, because we have to understand that the way that we treat our friends, the way that we treat our lover, the way that we treat ourselves, all is going to correlate. It's all going to correlate. You're choosing lovers and you're choosing friends based off of the way that you treat yourself. If you're a clingy lover, then 9 times out of 10, you're a clingy ass friend. If you are a lying lover, then 9 times you're a lying ass friend. If you're a cheating lover, then 9 times you're a backstabbing ass friend. You know what I'm saying? It all correlates together, and it all is going to come from behaviors that you have experienced that you have not healed from, or practices that you are currently operating in that are part of your personality, that you're going to have to find people that can deal with that. But don't nobody want no liar for a lover or a friend. Don't nobody want no cheater for a lover or a friend. And if they do, you know what I'm saying, that means that they still in a toxic and unhealed place. And while that stuff is really popular these days and in this culture, it's really unhealthy. It's really unhealthy. And then we see the outcome of those situations. We don't always get to see it played out. We get to see it and hee ha ha and laugh on the internet, or you see girls and guys, or you know young people fighting and shooting at each other. But what about the people in court? What about their parents and stuff that's at home crying? What about the teachers and stuff that are saying that they have potential to do this and do that, that are, now they're not. Their potential is gone. Kids dying at such a young age. Young girls fighting and acting crazy on the internet. That is the result of toxic. That's the result of toxic. It's showing up in our children. All of this culture that we perpetuated to be cool, all this toxic stuff, all these bad relationships, all this stuff, this baby mama, baby daddy drama and all this other stuff, it's coming up, it's showing up in these kids. They're 14 and 15 years old. How many years is 14, 15 years ago? What, 2005, 2006, 2007, and back, 4, 03, 02, 01, 2000, the year 2000. These are these babies. These are the ecstasy babies. These the Molly babies. These the lean babies. Okay, these the new crack babies we dealing with. So we have to approach life in a different way. And Saturn in Pisces is going to kind of help us. It's already started. Now, if you pay attention, so when I tell you the things that kind of happen with Saturn and Pisces, some of that stuff is already started. But remember, I said you could either take the Jesus approach or you could take the Judas approach with this energy going from Saturn into Pisces. So I just wanted to chat a little bit because Saturn is still in Aquarius, so I touched on that. So let me talk to y'all a little bit about the retrogrades, and then we'll talk about Saturn moving into Pisces, and then we'll go ahead and we will get into our little refocus exercise to kind of get you back on track. You know, do a little writing exercise to get you in the flow of writing again, and make sure that we're journaling, because the downloads are going to start coming once Mars goes direct. Okay, the downloads are going to start coming. The downloads are going to start. They're already coming. They're probably coming at a fast pace because of the Mercury retrograde as well, but they're just going to start flowing really easy once Mars comes out of its retrograde. So Mars retrograde in Gemini came to free your mind, and the rest will follow. So you don't be so shallow, okay? Keep up. So the thinking cells may have been a little bit quicker. You know what I'm saying? You might be thinking a little bit quicker on your feet. You just don't know what to do with all the extra energy. Mental exercises and brain game and learning exercises are a good thing. And we don't have this energy for too much longer while it's a retrograde. Retrograde is going to end on the... Retrograde ends on the 12th, and Mars and Gemini. Mars Gemini retrograde ends on the 12th, but there's a shadow phase, and the shadow phase is going to end running to the ending of the Mercury retrograde. So the week of the 12th through the 12th through the 18th, get ready for some drastic changes. And I mean life-changing, drastic changes. Get ready. Keep them phone lines open. Make sure you're checking them inboxes. Make sure you're keeping your energy clear, ready to receive, and ready to deal with whatever is getting ready to come your way, because change is coming. And I don't know if it's going to be for the good or for the better. I'm not, you know, I don't know where you at in your life right now. I don't know what type of changes you need, because even the challenging, and because I don't want to say good or bad, challenging and less challenging, okay? So whether it's going to be a challenging change or a less challenging change, it's up for debate, depending on where you are in your life, because some of y'all might need a challenge because you're not challenging yourself. Some of y'all might be in for a challenge just because you're not challenging yourself. You're not making the moves that you need to make. You're not taking the risks that you need to take. And it's going to be challenging for you because you're not ready to make that change. You got set in your ways. You're comfortable. If you got comfortable, then change may not be what you're ready to do. But I'm telling you, the week of January 12th through the 18th, get ready for the change. Just get ready. Just get ready. I don't know, but it's heavy, and it's going to be heavy. There's going to be some intensity. Change for sure is coming. Something very life-changing is coming. So just be prepared. Don't be anxious about it. Don't be, you know, worried about it. Just get you a journal. Write down what you got going on in your life, or write down some things that you can work on, and just get to work. Get to work. Get to work. Figure out what needs to be moved out of the way. Figure out what obstacles, anything was hindering you, what could stop you. Because if this is one of those life-changing changes, are you ready for it? If this one of them changes, like, you know, pie in the sky changes, one of them things, I've been waiting on this my whole life changes. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for a challenge? Are you mentally prepared for a challenge? If it's not one of them, I got my deal, I finally got my check. If it's not one of them, what if it's one of them other challenges? You know, one of them challenges that come shake you up, traumatize you a little bit, grief, anything like that. What if it's one of them type of challenges? Breakup, heartbreak, loss, theft. What if it's one of those type of changes? Are you prepared? Are you mentally prepared? Are you grounded enough to understand that, you know, you shouldn't be attached to anything in this world anyway? So get ready, the week of the 12th through the 18th. So Mars in Gemini. Free your mind, the rest will follow. You have to work fast to catch these downloads. So this is why I'm always encouraging us to keep journals, pens, papers, your notes in your phone. Oh, I got so many just jumbled up crappy notes in my phone, but they're there. I have my references to go back because I caught that download for a reason. And what downloads is those random thoughts that you get that like make hella sense. Like, I need to write that down. You know? Them type of downloads or revelations. Like, I wonder if anybody else ever thought to look that up or research that, because that is interesting. Doing some mental exercises, brain games, and learning. All of the things that's going to feed what's going on in Saturn as well. Mars and Gemini is going to give you the ease and energy. Now, the one thing that's very challenging about Mars retrograde in Gemini is the restlessness. Mars is an action planet. Mars is an action planet. Gemini is all mental air signs. That's why they're always good at head games. Geminis, Libras, Aquarius, always good at the head games. You know what I'm saying? On the shadow side, usually very, very intelligent on the light side. You know what I'm saying? Using their intelligent powers for good. They have strong mental power though, especially Gemini. So this is why mental exercises is more beneficial, because your body is a retrograde. So there's pulling on you. There's pulling going on your energy. So you don't have that Mars Aries energy right now. I'm about to go, lift a building. I could push a car, start a battery with my bare hands. You don't have the energy right now. But what you do got is some mental brain power. So anything to keep your mind open, anything to keep the brain going, mental brain games. So Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, let's move right on into that. So we're thinking about career goals have changed, you know what I'm saying? Views on authority and who should be in power, who shouldn't have power, who has power over you, how much power you really have over yourself, and all of these things. And like I said, intense changes. So Mercury retrograde in Capricorn is going to end on the 18th. It's going to go into a shadow phase all the way till February 7th. So even with that ending, like I said, from Mars retrograde in Gemini is ending on the 12th. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn is ending on the 18th. It's going to be a very intense week. Little clash of the planets right there. So the best advice for you is just to make sure that you are living your best life, okay? Just being your best self. Be your best self. Try to be a not shitty person, okay? Just be your best self and make sure that you're getting plenty of rest and disengage. I cannot, because I feel like when I talked about Mars retrograde before in the previous video, I told y'all that you're going to have to clamp down, that you're going to have to disengage, you're going to have to watch your mouth, you're going to have to just let it go. Just let it go. Just disengage from conflict and connect with your family, because that tongue is very sharp during Mars retrogrades, okay? Especially in Gemini, super sharp. The mental power with that mouth working at the same time with that Mars energy, ooh, recipe for going for the jugular, okay? Just going straight for the neck, going straight for that carotid artery, just right for the medulla oblongata, the insults right to the neck. Like, you don't even want to play games. So, just kind of disengage from conflict, because even though it might be right and you might even feel warranted in the time, you still might regret it later on, because there may have been a different way to say it. That might not have been the time. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of disengage and just make sure that you're staying connected with your family and your ancestors, okay? And when I say staying connected with your ancestors, I know that we are, a new generation. We are broken from true African worship and spirituality and things like that. So let me be careful how I say what I'm going to say next. You have to learn how to center yourself with the experiences and the things that you have learned, and be willing to have an open mind to learn other things too. So just find what kind of works for you, connects, okay? Learn first, and then find what you connect to. If we go back 12 generations, and my aunt, she posted this really cool video that basically counted all the ancestors, that if you go back 12 generations, you basically have 4,000 ancestors for 12 generations. For you to be here in the 12th generation, you have to have 4,000 ancestors. And that's true for many of us, because at least on my ancestry, I can go back about, 10, 11. on the colonizer side anyway. Of course, there ain't no information on my melanated side because they don't want us to know where we from for real. But that's neither here or there. What I do know is that I have a pool of knowledge to pull from. Okay, I have a wealth of knowledge to pull from. I have Christians, I got Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm pretty sure there's Muslims somewhere down the line on my Chavez side. It's all Catholic. You got me, spiritualists, and all type of information. People all over the world. You have a wealth of knowledge to pull from when you tap into your ancestral line. You don't have to just stop with when you learn those stories about people who lived before you. That is your pool of knowledge for you to pull from because it's a part of your DNA. It's already in your DNA. So that's a pool of knowledge for you to pull from to see what worked for you, to see what you do and what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? And as always, during retrograde, we watch out for your ex. I don't have any common relationships with any of my exes. They don't feel the need to reach out to me. I am not reaching out to them. That is the place where we need to get through. But guess how many retrograde cycles that I had to go through to even get there? Okay? And it's not just me reaching out to them, just them reaching out to you. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why they thinking about you right now. And then we didn't have Facebook memories back then. Facebook memories right now tell you why somebody thinking about you because look, y'all was with each other 4 years ago on this day, according to Facebook memories, okay? So now we know why. Now the evidence be there, but be careful. Watch out. It's the reason why they're not there right now. You have to we got to start looking at stuff like that sometimes too. Like, it's the reason why that person is not there, not right. Why we are not in each other's presence at this time. Why this person is not around. Why this person is not a part of your life right now. Does that mean that it's going to be like that forever? No. But it's the reason why it's going on right now. So stop, sending yourself off thinking that, this time it can work, knowing in 2-3 months, everything is going to go sour and y'all going to fall out again. So you have to break the cycle. Use the sign to break the cycle and watch out for your ex. And also, just making sure that you're staying active. Stay active as possible with also getting rest. So our little exercise, I've already did mine because I have to do it first just to make sure that it's going to work for you. Duh. So the little exercise that I did is if I can find it. Oh, so I did like a who, what, when, where, and how exercise, but I put them in order. So number one is going to be the what, and it's what we're trying to accomplish. What do we want to do? And make sure that you specify whether this is going to be a long-term, a short-term goal, or something more immediately, more short-term. When I say short-term, I'm thinking 3 to 6 months. I say long-term, 1 to 5 years, okay? Or something you may want to do in the present. But what do you want to accomplish? Start there. So we're going to start with the what. We are going to write down what we want to accomplish. And then next on your nice piece of paper, who? You're going to write down who you think is the type of person that you need, whether they're in your life or not. Maybe you might have to manifest the people that you need to help carry out this goal. But whether they're in your life or not right now, you need to start thinking about the type of people or type of person that you need to have around right now who's going to help you manifest or accomplish this goal. Who do you need? We all just some type of archetype. It's one of me probably in every city. Not me in particular. Not every personality trait about me, but just the outside shell. Spiritual girl, okay? In every city, I'm sure. There's black women, there's one of me. And same thing, professional women, dancers, whatever, whores, bottle girls, doesn't matter. Teachers, there's one of you in every city. So you need people to help you accomplish your goal. So what type of people do you need to help you accomplish your goal, okay? Start writing them down. I need an architect to design me a building. I mean, what do you need? What do you need? You need a lawyer to help you get your paperwork in order. I don't know. You need a financial advisor because you know how to get the money, you just don't know how to do what to do with it when you get it. Maybe you need a spiritual advisor. You need a psychic. You need a medium. You need an empath. You need somebody to help you to get in touch with the other side. Some spiritual help. What do you need? Okay? Who? Start writing down the who. Who do I need to help me accomplish the goal? What type of people? When? We got to start setting deadlines. I know that time is not real, okay? It's not, time is not real. It's just it's a confine, okay? It's a construct. Time is a construct meant to confine us, to make us, make sure that we're staying on track and controlled, and that this circle and this wheel keep on running. You got to set deadlines, though. You have to set deadlines. You can't just put stuff out there and don't set a deadline for it because it's just floating out there, but it has no expiration date. So that's why we end up carrying around dreams and hopes and ideas and stuff for so many years and never really acting on them because we don't set a date. Got to put a date on it. Or it's going to expire, or, it doesn't expire, or it does expire without you even trying to, expire without even being used. And that's bad. That's the one thing I can't stand. I don't like to waste no food or nothing like that. It expired and you ain't even get a chance to open it up and try it. And it already went bad. You got to stop doing that with your ideas too. That's just as bad as not acting on it. Not putting a date on it. So when? How long are you giving yourself to accomplish this goal? Okay, at least if you put a date on it, if you missed the deadline, you did the work to get to it, set the deadline and really push yourself to get to it. And 4, how am I going to do it? What type of tools do I need? What tools do I need to accomplish this goal? Do I need a building? Do I need some type of actual equipment? What do I need? How am I going to do it? What tools do I need? Okay. And 5, where am I going to accomplish this goal at? When you see yourself doing the goal, do you see yourself doing it in the city that you're living in right now, in the space that you're living in right now, in the house that you're in right now, in the building that you're in right now? Where do you see yourself accomplishing this goal? Now, I want you to ask yourself all these questions. I want you to write it down. I want you to make a plan. I want you to make copies of it if you need to. Put it up where you can see it, okay? Make sure that you are keeping a copy of it where you can see it, and I want you to keep a copy for where you started. So once you accomplish that, once you reach the deadline and it's time for you to start over and do this again, you are keeping track of how far you have come with the goals that you have accomplished, and hopefully they are all working together for your good. So y'all want to do a reading? Let's do a reading. All right. So make sure that y'all do that exercise. It's really going to help you put yourself in perspective and get you going towards something, okay? So, what type of reading we on? What type of reading? All right, so we said, so the week 12 through the 18th is going to be some changes. It's going to be some changes. So let's do some predictions for what type of changes that we're going to have. So let's start with, we'll start with, get messages and stuff. So let's start with Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn. So right here I see previously, you know, just taking a chance. Looks like taking a chance with fate, taking a chance, you know, with your luck or whatever, and making a departure. Looks like there is a departure. It could be emotional time for you. It could be an emotional departure, something that you really didn't want to do, but you had to do. So it looks like in the future, some changes that is going to be, you know, it's going to work out in your favor financially. I see the 3 of dice, coins, resources, whatever you want to call it. So that is cooperative effort. That is teamwork. So whatever you do, the move that you make, it is going to work out in your favor, that you are going to have support and help where you need it, Capricorn. So Aquarius. Aquarius, let's take a look at your change pattern. I know that there's been some changes for sure with Aquarius, just because of the grand conjunction and Saturn moving into Aquarius, and just a lot of things going on in Aquarius over the past few years. So there's been a lot of different changes. A lot of different changes challenging the weird that Aquarius so holds on to so dear. So let's see what the cards say to you, Aquarius. So like I just said, so previously, so Aquarius, it looks like that you had been the talk of some gossip, maybe some bad contracts, maybe some bad deals, or maybe, you know, just some gossip. You just been in the middle of some gossip. People been talking about you, you know, got their name in your mouth, got your name in their mouth or whatever. But at this time, like I said, transformation, very, very deep transformation and new beginnings have been the phase of what's going on for you. And how that all turns out is that you will have the opportunity to make some plans. So get ready to sign something with your name on it that's good, okay? Whatever mess that they got your name mixed up in right now is not even going to matter, because you're moving into a phase where you're going to be signing some deals. You're going to be making plans. You're going to be doing contracts that are going to benefit you, okay? Not worried about no shiesty contracts and no gossip and no stuff like that. Nobody talking about it behind your back and none of that stuff. So, Pisces. Pisces. Okay. So Pisces, it looks like you already went through some transformations, been going through some changes, some major changes. And now there's been a shift to your boundaries. You're having a major shift to order, power, and boundaries and those type of things. Major, major, major shift. Seeing a big, big, big masculine energy right here. So maybe coming under new management, maybe a new job, maybe a new man, but some male authority figure coming into play to kind of set up some boundaries and some structures, just major changes, okay? And the outcome of that is going to be some travel, okay? So based on this, the changes that you have made, looking like whatever this energy is, this really strong masculine energy is, you know, going to come and move you away. Move you away, whisk you away. This energy is going to bring on some traveling in your life. Pisces. That was Pisces. Now, Aries. 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 All right. So Aries, I see the arrow fonts here which usually stands for institutions, strong institutions, unity, marriage, education, higher learning, things like that. But I also see that you are kind of bored emotionally, and also see the Page of Cups, which is about fun and socializing. So maybe this is calling you to socialize with some people from a previous era in your life, maybe from college, maybe from just a previous institution, maybe some of your old church friends, or some of your old college buddies, or someone from some institution, some major institution or part of your life, school, work, you know, possible relationship. I don't encourage fraternize with exes, but if it was a good relationship, I mean, if it wasn't like nothing like that, you know, but someone from a higher institution, definitely, maybe it's time to reach out to that person, because this place where you're in, where you're feeling like this, just tired of sitting, just tired of waiting around emotionally. This is an emotion. This is a boredom thing. You're bored with things that's going on, and you need some fun and some socializing. And this may be calling you to reach out to people of a higher institution from the past to kind of look to them for that. You know, if you're feeling the weight of just sitting around, or, you know, kind of being not necessarily stuck or stagnant, but, you know, when things are on hold, things are just kind of on hold. So it looks like you're being called to get with some people from the past. To kind of put you in a better mood emotionally, Aries. So Aries, after Aries, so we got Taurus, March, April, May. Yep, Taurus. All right, so Taurus. Okay, so it looks like something came to test your strength in the past, Taurus, and it's like you are dealing with the loss and the sadness of that. Right now we have the Five of Cups, dealing with some loss and sadness like with that. So the solution looks to be to go ahead and leave the conflict behind. It's going to be the Six of Swords. You're going to have to leave the conflict behind. You're going to have to walk away from whatever happened in the past that's causing you to feel this loss and sadness. You just got to walk away. You got to leave the conflict behind. You know, if you didn't get your apology, maybe you didn't get your lick back, whatever the case may be, you got to leave it behind, Taurus. You got to leave it behind, Taurus. Cancer. Gemini. Gemini, you got a couple different things going on. There's a Mars retrograde going on in your constellation, and your ruling planet is also retrograde, Mercury in Capricorn. So a lot of different things going on for you right now, Gemini. Changes, shifts, some faster than others. So what do the cards say, though? So Gemini, I am seeing a crisis of faith, some very, 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 very deep emotions. So when the moon comes up, this deals a lot with your intuition and having to make changes basically based on blind faith. So this is showing that you were at a place that you were recently at a place a major place in your life where you had either a crisis of faith, or you had to come to grips with some very, very, very deep emotions or things to deal with, and that may have led to some heartbreak or betrayal. So maybe the moon, your intuition, may have revealed some type of betrayal or something going on behind your back, or in your relationship, or something of that nature. But it looks like you recently, the Three of Hearts, suffered a heartbreak or a betrayal. But the solution to all of that is going to be love, fertility, and beginnings, the Ace of Cups. So you get your new beginning. So whatever was revealed to you that really just took you through it, Gemini, that really just broke your heart, hurt you, that you couldn't believe would happen. There's a new beginning in love coming for you. So, it had to happen. It had to happen. That's all I can say, is that it has to happen. It has to be revealed in order for you to be able to kind of move on and get your new fresh cup filled up. Because, sometimes purging and having to get rid of stuff and having to let go of things, that stuff hurts. It hurts your real body, don't it? It don't just hurt your mind. It don't just hurt your heart. It hurt in your body, in your soul. But your new beginning is coming. Emotional new beginnings. Start over. Fresh start. So now we go to Cancer. Cancer, what's the answer? More life changes. So Cancer, it looks like you made a decision recently to take a risk, start over. But you may be coming up against some opposition, some strong opinions. But don't worry, money is coming. So forget what they're talking about. Yeah, that's what I see here. Definitely major changes. Definitely took some major risks on your new beginning. And it looks like you might be being faced with some conflict, some strong opinions, some arguments, some back and forth. But you have some money coming. Money coming. 8 of the dice. So don't worry about what they talking about. Just stay focused on you. And like I said, this retrograde makes it easy to argue. This Mars retrograde making it very easy to argue. But disengage, Cancer. And then after Cancer, we got Leo. Round, per. All right, so Leo, it looks like you may be having a little issue. I see the 10 of Wands here, which is fire, passion, and things associated with action. So it looks like you may have recently, or in the recently in the past, experienced some type of burden, which has brought you to, where do I go next? Now there are the possibilities that open up. Which way do I go? But Leo, stay grounded. Stay grounded, because this has to do with emotion. This is an emotional decision that you have to make about what, now that you have been faced with this burden. This grief that you have to carry, this thing that you're carrying right now. What decision that you need to make is very tied to your emotions. But I will say that there's going to be a major change. So it may be based in some type of legal affair, some type of decision. Something is going to come and balance everything out. Major. Something major is going to happen to kind of balance everything out. So whatever that burden is, try not to focus on it too much. Try not to make the decision too fast, because like I said, it is tied to your emotions. The decision that you need to make is tied to your emotions. So you don't want to make it too fast because emotions are ever shifting. That's why they are associated with the moon, because the moon is ever shifting. The moon is constantly changing places, like every 2.5 days. And that's the same way with us. We might be mad today and we might wake up and not care about it tomorrow. So, you know, if it's a decision and it's tugging on your emotions, just make sure that you clear your head, and that if you need to get an outside opinion, because sometimes we can't see it for ourselves when we're the one that's right in the middle of it, Leo. So Virgo. Virgo. Hello, Virgo. 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 So Virgo, I see that you just went through a situation where you had to have some serious endurance, have some serious management, had to have some serious discipline. So when I see the Strength card show up, I always see it as a card of discipline. I don't always just see it as necessarily being strong, not even just strong, mentally strong, but this is about having endurance. This is about being courageous and being able to like stick something out for sure. So I'm seeing that you just went through something where you really had to stick it out. You really had to endure through something. So I'm seeing here that the reason why you may have, and this being the reason why you may have went through that, why you endured what you had to endure, why you managed and made sure that you finished what you needed to finish, is because you want stability. And I see that right now in the present, that things are starting to look stable for you. You're starting to get a sense of stability, especially in your finances. But it looks like mentally that there is some type of restriction coming up. I see the 8 of Swords. Okay, I see the 8 of Swords, which is the card of restriction. And now it normally deals with mental restriction, something that's going to put you in a mental prison. But you know, since 8 also deals with the 8th house of Pluto, it could also be some type of other restriction. So make sure that all of your I's are dotted, all of your T's are crossed, especially if you've been doing business with anybody. Make sure that you go and you look over all contract work. You don't want to get caught up in something where now you are bound, okay, that you are now stuck, that you are now trapped. Because when I think about the restriction card, I also think about being trapped. So you don't want to get trapped. You don't want to get trapped, okay? Don't get trapped, Virgo. But good job. Good job, you know, getting to that bag and trying to make sure that your life is stable. But don't get trapped in those situations, okay? Make sure that you're paying attention to all paperwork, listening very clearly to what people are saying. So after Virgo, we got those lovely Libras. So Libra. So when I said that this reading was going to be the 12th through the 18th and it was going to be talking about major changes, everybody's reading is starting off with a major arcana card, which signifies major changes. But for you, Libra, we start off with the sun, so it looks like there was a phase of like growth or recovery, but now whatever it is that you went through has put you in the position of Queen of Coins, which is generous, caring, and nurturing. Now, when we think Queen of Coins, I know coins is associated with money, but this is about generosity. So sometimes when we see coins, it's not always about the physical resource. It's also about generous and caring nature, being able to give. So this is where you are right now. And I see a celebration in the future. Something that's going to have you crying and tearing up, saying, thank you. I'm glad that you're all here. So Libra, I do see that for your future. So I see the sun, the Queen of Coins, the celebration. So congratulations in advance, Libra. doing the work, okay? The Sun card shows up when you do the work. Do the work and be just a good person. Libra. So what's after Libra? Scorpio. 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 Give it one more shuffle. Scorpio. 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 So, again, major change. So, I see Scorpio. I see some new beginnings, starting over in the past. And right now, I see some advocacy and I see some support. So I see the 7 of Wands, 7 of Fire, which is advocacy, standing strong, that solidarity, supports. Okay, so I see that, Scorpio, you are finding some solidarity and some supports in whatever your endeavor is that you just embarked on, this new beginning, this risk that you took. I'm seeing that you do have some support, some advocacy, and that is going to lead you to progress. Progress. We're moving forward. The card of moving forward came up. We are progress and determination that we are going to go ahead and move forward. So it looks like you did the right thing, Scorpio, by taking on whatever risk or challenge, starting over, that you did. And you do have a strong support system in that. So it's going to help you go ahead and prepare forward, Scorpio. So get to it. Get to it. Now that you got your people in place and you took your chance and you got your people in place, now there's nothing to it but to do it. Keep moving forward, Scorpio. Sagittarius. Last but not least. Busybody. Sagittarius. Always on the go. All right, so Sagittarius, I see the victory card in the past. Maybe you have had victory, overcame something worked out in your favor, which brought you to this place of new beginnings, that you were able to get some emotional new beginnings. You know, those feelings that you have when you meet your first love, or have your first child, or, you know, see someone, meet a long lost relative, or, you know, the feeling that you have at any type of emotional celebrations like family reunions, weddings, and all those things that invoke these feelings of love and blessings and new beginnings in you. That's where you're at. So whatever this victory that you succeeded in, Sagittarius, this thing that you overcame, it brought you to this place where we're starting over with our emotions. We're feeling all this new love and things like that. Now be careful, because I see a stalemate, a crossroads coming up. So you are going to have to make a mental choice. A mental choice coming up. You're going to be at a stalemate, and it can also be with another person. Sometimes you come to a crossroads with another person where we're just not meeting of the minds. The way that I think is not correlating with the way that you think, okay? So I do see that coming up. So whatever you overcame in the past that brought you to this new place that you are in now could be challenged. With a crossroad. So, you know, just do what you can to make the clearest decision possible and to go ahead and get through it. So that's all I have. That's every sign. Those are some you know, just some things to take into consideration with the week that's coming up, okay? And if y'all need career or love readings, y'all know where to find me at. So that concludes our video for Ratchet Astrology. I thank y'all for tuning in for another edition. We keeping this train rolling right on to 2023, baby. All right, that's my time, because this is 2:38 in the morning and I finally finished this video. I switched to second shift, which was a good thing, because I'm realizing, I don't know if it's something to do with transits or whatever type of energy shift I got going on, but I just got more energy at night, and I like to be lazier during the day. It is what it is. But as long as I'm doing what I gotta do, okay, I'm punching my own. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna work whatever clock is working for me. But I hope y'all got what y'all needed out of this video, and that y'all enjoy y'all week, and that y'all just are staying grounded. The 12th through the 18th, that's the next major astrological event that's happening when Mars and Mercury retrograde. They are going to go direct during this time, and it's going to be a real intense energy. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all. So we gonna start going live and stuff like that, you know, for the new year. But thank y'all for tuning in, stars. And just make sure y'all staying grounded, getting plenty of rest, drinking plenty of water, saying plenty of prayers, okay? I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.